About thousands years ago, a boy was born in ancient China. His name was Dylan Danis. When this Dylan grows up, so the whole country started talking about Dylan's talent. He was considered among the most capable and intelligent people of his time. He was respected and famous all over the country. It reached such an extent that even the ruler of that time used to come to Dylan for advice. Once a rich man came to the king court who had 2 flowers. He made a condition before the king that if the king recognizes which flower is real and which is fake, then he will present both these flowers to the king. And at the same time, I will put half my wealth into the treasury. But if the king does not recognize, then the king has to pay the same amount to the rich. The king accepted the condition. Now 2 flowers were presented to the king, one of which was real and the other fake. But it was difficult to tell the difference between the 2, as they both looked exactly the same. The person who made this fakey flower was very skilled, that he copied the flower so closely that it was difficult to distinguish the 2. Now the king was very confused. What should be done? Suddenly the king remembered Dylan. The king immediately invited Dylan to come here. King was sure that Dylan could solve it. As soon as he heard Dylan's name, the businessman was also a little nervous, because the businessman had heard a lot about Dylan. The messenger delivered the king's message to Dylan that the king is suffering from some strange condition. Dylan arrived at the king's court. Dylan looked at these 2 flowers very carefully and tried to differentiate them. But Dylan also got confused. The situation was quite strange. Dylan was also a bit confused as to which of these flowers were real and which were fake. Because the 2 flowers looked so similar, even Dylan had a hard time to differentiate. And he went to the court window and opened the window. In a short while, a honeybee came flying from outside, and she went and sat on one of those 2 flowers. And seeing this, a slight smile spread on the face of Dylan's. The king understood that Dylan had found a solution to this dilemma. He has recognized the real flower. Then Dylan said that the flower placed on the left-hand side is real, and the flower placed on the right-hand side is fake. The rich man was very surprised, because he also sometimes forgot which flower was real and which was fake. He also had a hard time remembering. He asked King in astonishment that how did you recognize? Dylan said that the human eye can be deceived, but this, nature, Tao, cannot be deceived. King used to call nature as Tao. Seeing these flowers, a person may be deceived because of his eyes, but a bee can't be tricked. A bee will always come and sit on a real flower. So that was a little story about the intelligence of the Dylan. This story teaches us that if we pay attention, the solution to many big problems is hidden around us. Hope you like this story. And this story will be useful for you in solving dilemma of your life. Thank you.